Good day, Kahilaga. I am your math teacher, Ma'am May S. Lorilia, and we are still working for the week 1 of the third quarter of grade 8 mathematics. Our lesson is axiomatic structure of a mathematical system, wherein at the end of this lesson, you will be able to demonstrate MELC 35 and MELC 36. Wherein you will be able to describe a mathematical system and illustrate the need for axiomatic structure of a mathematical system in general. In this video, we're going to focus on defined terms. Good day, Kahilaga. This is the part 2 of our video in the defined terms. In the part 1, we discuss about the different defined terms. So, ginamit natin yung undefined terms natin na point and lines, and then we come up with different defined terms such as collinear points, coplanar points, intersecting line, parallel line, perpendicular line, and so on. So, this is the continuation of that video wherein we're going to focus on different definitions which focus on angles. So the first definition is about definition of adjacent angles. An adjacent angles are two angles that share a common vertex and a common side. Look at this figure. These are two angles that share a common side or a common ray and a common vertex. Angle YLN and angle NLA are adjacent angle with common vertex at point L and a common side, ray LN. Lagyan natin siya ng different legends or name. In this example, we have angle YLN. This is angle YLN. And angle NLA. Yan. They share a common vertex at point L and a common side at ray LN. Ito yung kanilang common vertex. At ito naman yung kanilang common side. Yan. That's why angle YLN and angle NLA are adjacent angle. So, sinasabi natin, magkadikit ang adjacent angle. So, magkadikit, may iisa lang silang common ray or may isang ray lang sila, yun yung nagde-divide sa kanilang dalawa. At may iisa silang vertex. Okay, look at this figure. Can you say that this is adjacent angle? Meron silang common vertex. Yan, ito. May common vertex sila. Pero ito, dalawang angle. Ito yung first angle, ito yung second angle. Meron silang common vertex, pero magkaiba sila ng side. Ito yung side ng isa. Ito naman yung side ng kabila. So, kung titingnan natin dito sa figure na to, meron na tayong tatlong angle. But kung titingnan lang natin ay dalawa, so hindi sila adjacent. They are not adjacent. Not adjacent angle. Because they only have a common vertex but they do not have a common side. Another definition is the definition of vertical angles. Vertical angles are formed when two straight lines intersect each other. So, knowledge about angles and knowledge about intersecting lines. Two lines. We have line LN and line KM that intersect at a point. Let's say, for example, point Q. Their sides form two pairs of opposite rays and their angle are non-adjacent. So, when we say vertical angles, nabubuo sa two intersecting lines, and then their sides form two pairs of opposite rays and their angle are non-adjacent. So, hindi sila magkadikit. Okay. ito yung ating example ng vertical angles. Angle LQK and angle MQN are vertical angles. So, vertical angles are two angles. So, kailangan pair na magkatapat. Opposite way sila. Opposite angle sila sa intersecting, pag nagkaroon tayo ng intersecting line. And another is angle LQM and angle KQN are also pair of vertical angles. Ito naman siya. See? LQM. Yan. And see? KQN. So, when two straight line intersect, nakakabuo tayo ng two pairs of vertical angles. Opposite, magkatapat sila vertically. Okay, maliwanag po ba si vertical angles? May question? I-message nyo na po pag may tanong kayo. Another definition is the definition of complementary angles. If the sum of measures of two angles is 90 degrees, then they are said to be complementary. So, yung mga una nating definition is based on the construction or yung paano, yung sa characteristic nila. Ito naman based on the measurement. If the sum of the measure of two angles is 90 degrees, then they are said to be complementary angles. As you observe, lahat ng ating binibigay na definition is more on angle pairs. And yun ay isa sa mga naging topic ninyo nung kayo ay grade 7, angle pairs. So this one, definition of complementary angles, if the sum of the measure of two angles is 90 degrees, then they are said to be complementary angles. So we're talking about two angles. Let's say for example, angle ABC and angle DEF. So, yung measure nila, i-add natin, isa-sum up natin. If the sum of the measure is 90 degrees, then they are complementary. And we can say that angle DEF complement angle ABC. So, the measure of angle ABC is 60 degrees plus the measure of the angle DEF, which is 30 degrees. The sum is 90 degrees. Therefore, angle ABC and angle DEF are complementary angles and they complement each other. Another example of complementary angles is this figure. One angle measures 58 degrees and the other measures 32 degrees. And when we sum up these two angles, 58 degrees plus 32 degrees is equals to 90 degrees. Therefore, these two angles are complementary. Those two adjacent complementary angles form a right angle. Ito nga pala yung dapat natin tandaan sa complementary angles. Pwede silang adjacent, pwede silang non-adjacent. Pwedeng magkatabi, pwedeng magkahiwalay. Basta ang mahalaga, ang sum ng kanilang angles or ng two angles ay 90 degrees. At kapag sila ay magkatabi or sila ay adjacent, they share a common vertex and a common ray, nakakabuo tayo ng right angle because the measure of a right angle is 90 degrees. Okay? So, pag pinagtabi mo yung dalawang complementaryong magkaiwalay, makakabuo ka pa rin ng 90 degrees. So, kung meron tayong 90 degrees, meron din naman tayong 180 degrees and that is for the definition of supplementary angles. If the sum of the measure of two angles is 180 degrees, then they are said to be supplementary angles. So, in this example, angle PQR and angle ABC are supplementary angles because the measure of angle PQR is 100 plus the measure of the angle ABC, which is 80 degrees, is 180 degrees. Yun. So, pwede magkahiwalay din ang supplementary angles. At pwede rin naman silang magka-dikit. Yan. So, So this is also an example of supplementary angles. An angle whose measures 139 degrees and another angle paired or 41 degrees. Pag sinamap natin sila, 180 degrees. So ito naman ay halimbawa na supplementary angles that are adjacent, magkatabi. And if two angles are supplementary and adjacent, and then you can form a straight angle. Because a straight angle measures 180 degrees. Sa complementary, pag pinagdikit mo ang dalawang complementary, ang two angles niya, nakakabuo ka ng right angle. Pag naman supplementary angles, ang palatandaan mo, ang mabubuo mo ay straight angle. Okay? Remember, in the complementary, the sum of the measures of the two angles is 90 degrees. While in the supplementary, the sum of the measure of two angle is 180 degrees. Another definition of angle pair is the linear pair. Linear pair, if two angles are adjacent and supplementary, then they are called linear pair. So, kanina, napag-usapan natin yung adjacent angle. And, of course, a while ago, about supplementary angle. Linear pair are two angles that are adjacent and supplementary. So, the properties or the characteristic of a linear pair, dalawang angle na adjacent na supplementary pa. Okay, let's say in this figure, we have angle AXY and angle BXY. So, kung titingnan natin, nakabuo tayo ng straight angle. So, this is a supplementary. And they share a common ray and a common vertex. So, we have angle 1 and angle 2 are adjacent because they have a common vertex at point X. Ito yung kanilang common vertex. And their common sides, the ray XY. So, they are adjacent. And 30 degrees plus 150 degrees is equal to 180 degrees. Therefore, they are also supplementary because the sum of their measures is 180 degrees. Therefore, angle 1 and angle 2 form a linear pair. This is a two angles that are linear pair. Another definition included in about angle is the angle bisector. An angle bisector is a ray that divides an angle into two congruent angles. Kanina, meron tayo segment bisector. Ito naman, angle bisector. An angle bisector is a ray that divides an angle into two congruent angles. So, meron tayo ditong angle AOC. And a ray OB is an angle bisector. So, pag sinabi natin angle bisector, it divides an angle into two congruent angles. If ray OB is an angle bisector, then the measure of angle AOB is equal to the measure of BOC. Angle BOC yan. Equal daw yan. So, kung 70 yung kabila, kung 30 degrees yung AOB, 30 degrees din si BOC. Okay? Kung 30 degrees si AOB, 30 degrees din si angle BOC. So, that is the definition of angle bisector. Ngayon naman, gagamitin natin yung knowledge natin, yung natutunan natin about the different definition related to angles in logical reasoning. Write the conclusion to complete the if-then statement and justify your answer by using definition. Katulad ng ginawa natin kanina, if angle TSU and angle TSV form a linear pair, then, ano yung ilalagay natin sa then part? Kailangan daw natin ng definition. So, mag-drawing muna tayo. We draw angle TSU and angle TSV that form a linear pair. Kailangan daw linear pair. Yan. Anong pwede nating i-conclude about the definition of a linear pair? Kasi si angle TSU at si angle TSB form a linear pair. Ano yung knowledge natin or ano yung natutunan natin sa definition ni linear pair? Pwede natin gamitin yung definition of linear pair. So then, by the definition of linear pair, angle TSU and angle TSV are adjacent angles. Pwede rin natin siyang dugtungan. If angle TSU and angle TSV form a linear pair, then angle TSU and TSB are adjacent and supplementary angles. Okay? Because by the definition of linear pair. Diba sabi kanina, linear pair are two angles that are adjacent and supplementary. Nabubuo siya ng adjacent angles and supplementary. O pwede rin naman nating ilagay dyan. If angle TSU and angle TSV form a linear pair, then the sum of the two angles are 180 degrees. Pwede rin po yun. Pwede na, basta ibibigay mo yung justification. Another example, if angle C and angle D are complementary angles, and the measure of angle C is 53 degrees, then the measure of angle D is blank. So C and D are complementary angles. And angle C is 53 degrees. So, dun tayo magpo-focus kay complementary angles. Ano ba yung definition of complementary angles? Two angles whose sum of the measure is 90 degrees. So, kung meron ka ng 53 degrees, so, isasubtract na lang natin siya kay 90 degrees. And therefore, the measure of angle D is 37 degrees by the definition of complementary angles. Questions? Kung wala, gawin naman natin yung learning task 4. Prepare your learning activity sheet number 1 and do learning task 4. Wherein you have to write true if the statement is correct and false if it's not. So, you will be given 3 minutes for this activity. Ilalagay nyo lang true or false. Intindihin yung given condition in each item or each number. And if you agree with the statement, write true. If you do not agree with the statement, write false. So, 3 minutes starts now. Let's check your work. Check your own work. So write true if the statement is correct and false if it's not. So number 1, if the measure of angle 3 plus the measure of angle 4 is 180 degrees, then angle 3 and angle 4 are complementary angles. What is your answer? I hope your answer is false, because if the measures or the sum of the measure of two angles is 180 degrees, it is not complementary. It is supplementary. And number 2, if angle DEF is a right angle, then the measure of angle DEF is 90 degrees. Okay, that is true. If angle O is the midpoint of line PT, then PO is equal to OT. Okay? Your answer must be true. If ray RE bisect angle ART, then the measure of angle ARE is equal to the measure of angle ERT. Okay, I hope your answer is true. And last, number 5, if angle JEL and angle LEO are adjacent angles, then angle JEL plus angle LEO is equals to 180 degrees. Okay, your answer must be false. Okay, kasi wala naman, ang sinabi lang adjacent angles. So, pag adjacent angles, we are not particular to their measures. Okay? I hope you got it all correctly. So, in this part of the video, we already discussed the different mathematical systems such as undefined terms and defined terms. So, in this part, nakita natin yung kahalagahan ng different undefined terms. So, kung meron tayong knowledge about the different undefined terms such as point, line, and plane, mas madali nating naiintindihan or maiintindihan yung mga nabuo or yung mga definitions na build up using this undefined terms. So, for example, may knowledge tayo sa point and line, and then we can build a defined terms or definition as collinear points, because collinear points are points that lie on the same line. Yun yung definition ng collinear points. So, paano na ibigay yung collinear points, yung definition ng collinear points, kung wala tayong knowledge about points and line? So, ginamit yung properties or characteristic about the points and line, and na-build or nabuo yung definition of the collinear points. So, connected yung defined terms natin kay undefined terms. So, yun yung nagiging flow ng ating mathematical system. Okay? So, in this video, ang focus lang natin ay ang defined terms. So, your task, gagawin ninyo sa bahay, is the learning task 6 of your learning activity sheets, wherein you have to complete each statement or if then statement and use the definition to give reason in order to justify your answer. Katulad ng mga nasa example. So, kinumpleto yung if then statement, and then ibibigay mo yung justification mo. Anong definition yung ginamit mo to complete the if then statement. So, you have 5 items for the learning task 6. And after that, do learning task 7. If in the given figure, GRAY or gray is a rectangle, complete the conclusion and write the reason that will justify each of the statement. So, meron tayong figure dito, and then ibibigay nyo yung kukumpleto sa then statement and anong justification. Kahawig ng learning task 6 natin. Okay? So, ito yung ipapasa nyo na lang sa akin. Ako na yung mag-check. hope you learned something in this video. And thank you. And in the next video, we're going to discuss all about postulate and axioms. Thank you. Good day, Kahilaga!